Hi guys, so today I've got a process video for you. This is actually using the last Quirky Kit, not the current one. I got a bit behind on posting videos, and it's kind of Wilna Furstenberg inspired, not any specific layout, just her gorgeous style in general. So I'm starting off by using some acrylic paints to paint a mint background all over, leaving out a border, and that's something I've noticed her do a fair amount, is use quite a lot of paint on her background to really create her own kind of paper. And I'm trying to have a few different shades to make it a bit more dimensional. So I did this using a really big brush just so it would be done quickly, lots of water to blend the colours into each other. And the colour of the background doesn't really match the photo. It was late at night and I decided to make the background, and I didn't have any photo in mind, and I didn't have any photo this beautiful colour, so I just did this. And I just did some white splatters. I like Wilna splatters. Mine did not go as well. For some reason they were really gloopy this day. I wasn't really sure why that happened, so if there was a splatter I didn't like, I just sort of rubbed it into the background with some tissue. And then the splatters got a bit too wet, so I kind of dabbed them, and they're not very visible. Another thing I will say is I didn't bother using gesso on the background, so it does warp a lot. I try and dry it by... Oh, I'm going to show you the layout up close now. But I tried to dry it by taping it down with washi. That didn't work. Okay, so this is the background. It's not too warped, but it's pretty warped. And I decided it was too blue, so I decided to cut a few little squares to put on top of the background, just in white, just to kind of fade back the background a bit. And these are a different white to my background cardstock, and I don't know why I decided to use a different white, but it's not that visible, it's fine. So here I am starting to play with the arrangement, and there's the photo, and I thought this colour kind of reminds me of sort of glowing lights, and this photo has lights in it, so that was my logic when I chose it. So I'd make the squares be about the height of the photo, because I'm going to layer behind the photo, so then the photo will poke over the squares on either side. And I stick them down with just a tiny dab of glue, because I want to do some machine stitching to stitch them down, but my sewing machine's downstairs, so I need something to hold them down while I go downstairs. And just trimming the sides as so. And I really like this effect, I think it's cool. I like the white on white at the sides, as well as how it kind of tones back the background a bit. So now it's just the usual layering and embellishment stage. This photo was taken at Kew Gardens during their Christmas or winter lights. They were really beautiful. Obviously they're not on anymore, but if you're looking for some nice lights to go to next year, I recommend them. They're really nice. And this one was done in this thing where there were all these lights hanging from the ceiling, and it gave quite nice lighting to take a few selfies, but it was quite difficult taking a photo because every now and again the lights would change colour, and some of the colours were a lot better for photos than others. So it was really trying to time ourselves to get the good photo. And at this point in the kit, I still had a lot of these labels left over from Fancy Pants, and so I decided to try laying them behind the photo, and I wish I did this sooner in the kit because I really like the effect that gives. I think it's really interesting, more interesting than just having the rectangles. And I bought some new doilies, which you might have seen in my haul video. It was my mini haul video, and I'm loving the doily look. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get doilies sooner because they're amazing. So I tend to use a combination of Pritt stick and double-sided tape for my layouts. I don't have any of this fancy ATG or glossy accents business, but it works fine. I actually looked up Pritt stick and they are archival safe or acid free or whatever, so hopefully they'll be fine. And I do scrapbook for the creativity rather than for the memories mostly. I do it for the memories as well, but I think I'm not going to be too heartbroken if my photo is a bit yellowed in a few years' time, because that's just what happens when you leave paper for periods of time. So I'm just kind of fussing around getting various layers sorted. And I try using this triangle one and it's not working because I've got squares already, so I don't really need triangles as well, but I do like the little arrow, and I decided to do my journaling on that arrow and have it kind of pointing towards the title. This layout is quite different from my usual style. I'm usually quite a lot more, I think, graphic maybe. I still have some of the graphic sort of element with the squares and stuff, but I like how it turned out. I tend to avoid mixed media, not because I'm afraid of making a mess, but because I don't have a whole lot of time and I don't have a heat gun, so doing mixed media means I can't finish my scrapbook layout when I want to. Oh, and you can see there that I am keeping down the sewing but with some washi tape. And finally, the title is a bit strange. I call it Christmas Dream because I have these puffy stickers that I want to use. It's not really, the day wasn't really related to Christmas. It was like on the 29th or something. But Dream on its own is a bit, and I thought with the lights and stuff, it looks quite dreamlike. And it's clearly cold, so that's like Christmas in the northern hemisphere. And there I am trying to count the number of letters in Christmas so I can centre it. And to be honest, I feel a little bit, it kind of almost collides into the photo. I don't have any wax paper and I would be too lazy to use it even if I did. So my titles tend to be a little bit wonky. But I can use the stitching on this layout to help me keep it all lined up. Yeah, you can see here I was starting to realise, oh no, it's going to go into photo. But it doesn't quite, I just about miss it. And I really like those letter stickers. Oh, and that's the finished layout. Here's some close-ups and I'll show you some photos in a bit. Thanks for watching. Bye!